Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all the assembled devotees. So let us start our day by prayers to Shri Radha Govinda and our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Chakrapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय षड गोस्वामी की जय नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा गुड लेट us start our session with a quick recap of our last session. So last session we saw how this progression happens from following Vaidhi sadhana bhakti towards Raganuga sadhana bhakti. And today the further progression is towards Bhava bhakti, ecstatic love to the Lord. So we will look into that. So let us have a quick recap just to see some hands raised. Some more hands, please. I'm starting my day with little headache. As Krishna has lotus feet, dust from the lotus feet. I am requesting active participation. That only will give me that energy to continue next 1.5 hours. So please, looking forward for active participation. So let us start with Jyoti Mataji. Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I missed the class last time, but I heard the recording and took some notes, Prabhuji. Accordingly, I will try to bring
Thank you very
some
much,
points,
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
That is an immediate booster for me. Devotees missing the class still listening to the recording and participating. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this. So, first of all, this start with chapter 14, where there are few items which are not considered as part of this bhakti, sadhana bhakti. So, 5 things we discuss in that is varnashrama, knowledge and renunciation, wealth and followers, saintly qualities, and 9 basic types of devotional practices. So why not these? So first is Varnashrama, because it is the system for regulated satisfaction of our own desires, not for the uh, Krishna. So, and Bhakti is like we have to be Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, just to serve Krishna and no other desire we have to have. Second is knowledge and renunciation. It comes on its own when we start practicing Bhakti through 9 processes, what we know. Gradually, this knowledge itself comes and we start renouncing the things which we should renounce. And sometimes this knowledge can make our heart hard. And for Bhakti, we need a softer heart. With a hard heart, we cannot progress toward the pure devotional services.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So I'll just give a pass there. So these are the two important things we need to understand: is practicing Varnashrama and knowledge and renunciation. So what we learned from our last session is when you are practicing bhakti, these will automatically manifest. Other way around, just by having knowledge and renunciation or following Varnashrama system, you may not become a devotee. So that is the reason it is not considered as common angas of bhakti. Okay, this is one key lesson we learned. Yes, Mataji, you can continue.
And next comes to wealth and followers. This is somehow can be an obstacle for our progress, because if we are not using the wealth which we are earning for the service of the Lord or to serve devotees, then it may involve us more materially. And followers sometimes give us that attitude that I have got so many people who follow me and something like that. So it can be behave like an obstacle. It will not. It may not help if it is not understood properly to progress further. And saintly quality is the fourth point, where like ahimsa, satya, and brahmacharya, etc. When we start practicing Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, these qualities naturally start coming inside, as they given in the text also, that we practice no meat eating. So naturally, that feeling start coming inside, and we start practicing ahimsa, and the bhava also grows inside. But if we try to practice these qualities first, that will not invoke the love for Krishna inside. But if we start practicing bhakti, and gradually it comes that with the love of Krishna, we will have these qualities inside us. And 9 basic types of devotional practices. So there it is discussed the name, best examples of devotees who can inspire us, from whom we can learn about how to practice all these things and perfect them. So hearing, chanting, remembering, for all there are examples. And Ambrish Maharaj, he practiced all 9 practices and perfected them. Then we move to next chapter, spontaneous devotional service. There are 2 words which I
We
learned
will
new.
give break there. We will give chance to other devotees. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thanks for the
Yeah, thank you very much. Shanti Sudesh Mataji, you want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, you told us the difference between Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. So Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is what we do when we are instructed by a spiritual master. Um, so it doesn't come spontaneously. But when we start doing it spontaneously, then it becomes Raganuga Bhakti or Ragatmika Bhakti. For example, Mangalarti. So Mangalarti is totally between the us and the Lord. There are no bystanders or nobody to appreciate, or so we are not doing it for appreciation or praise. So that becomes spontaneous.
Yes, ma'am.
We should progress from this to Vaidhi Bhakti to Ragatmika Bhakti. We should not be stuck in this.
Yes. So continuous endeavors are required. We should not be satisfied in what we are doing now. There is always further room for improvement, further scope for improvement. If you see, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a common thread among all the devotees. There are neophyte devotees, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari, who are in love, completely in love, in transcendental mood, in service of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is same. But the mood, the intensity, the attentiveness, the quality of chanting is totally different, right? So we need to continuously put our endeavors to improve. This is one of the important thing. And we discussed last class how we can improve our quality of chanting is improving the quantity of chanting. Yeah, good. Yes, Mataji. Who else? If I give chance to Neha Mataji and Kalpana Mataji, they will completely summarize full. Meanwhile, I wish to give chance to any other devotees who want to add any points. It is already in the screen. Anything you want to see, add, contribute to our discussion? Anybody? Hari Bol. Okay. Neha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
Again, Neha Mataji is one
Lord,
of those devotees who have, I think, if I'm not wrong, she missed last class. Hopefully, she has heard the recordings and then she's contributing. I truly appreciate Mataji. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We discussed about Raganuga Bhakti, as Mataji said. Raganuga Bhakti is a result of following the instructions of Guru Parampara. When we follow it during our Vedi Sadhana Bhakti, we develop attachment for devotional service, and we can gradually rise to Raganuga Bhakti. And the barometer to evaluate our progress is like if anybody can just get out of bed without alarm because of attachment to chant the holy name, that is the barometer that the person is rising in Krishna consciousness. And the perfect example for Ragatmika Bhakti is Brajvasis, their attachment to Krishna. And that is the perfection of Ragatmika Bhakti, pure love. And Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti is practice of devotee who aspires to develop to the platform of Ragatmika Bhakti. So in Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, the spontaneous love is there, attachment is there, but still anarthas are also there. So there is constant struggle to endeavor and rise to Ragatmika Bhakti. And Vedi Sadhana Bhakti is basically following the rules and regulations given by our Guru Acharyas as a matter of duty, moreover. And main criteria of Ragatmika Bhakti is spontaneous and devotional. So basically, obsession to please Krishna. And example you gave was of Krishna's headache and dust of lotus feet of gopis. How they were not at all bothered that they will go to hell. They were simply bothered that Krishna will be pleased. Krishna will be having a relief from his headache. And then we discussed various references from Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela, where we discussed we can rise above Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti by following the footsteps of Vrindavan Vasis. And in this way, we'll progress to Ragatmika Bhakti one day. And by following the revealed scriptures and following our Guru's instructions, serving them, we can have the inclination to serve Krishna. And then we also discussed one very important thing, that a self-realized devotee externally remains very humble like a neophyte. He doesn't
Just
show.
give a pause, Mataji. One thought which came to me, thought of sharing with you all. Now, when we say that following the Vrajavasis, okay, what is the context, what is the essence we have to take out of that is, now Ragatmika, there is no following rules and regulation. It is intense love and devotion. Yeah, we need to aspire to achieve that. But by following the Vrajavasis, when we say following the Vrajavasis, our Guru Acharyas, the instructions of our Guru Acharyas. So it is very important to clarify this point, because most of us, our mind tricks us in such a way that scripture says that we have to follow Vrajavasis, and Vrajavasis do not follow any regulative principles. So I am okay. Whatever I am doing, I'm okay. All I need is love and devotion. Okay. This will not lead us to what we aspire for. What we need to understand is we need to follow the instructions of our Guru Acharyas, who are all Vrajavasis. All the Shat Goswamis, Rupa Sanatana Goswamis, everybody, this is what we need to understand, right? Yes, Mataji.
So then we discussed like self-realized devotee. They never show that I am so great. I am a Mahatma. They never show like that. They remain humble, and genuine humility is there. They remain like a neophyte, but internally they are constantly serving Krishna. They are in that mood of service attitude 24/7. So that is a very important point. And then we discussed that one has to surpass Vedi sadhana bhakti to reach Raganuga bhakti, and evaluation, self reflection is very important. We need to ask this question: are we having the urgency? I am having this rarest opportunity. Am I having the urgency to get Krishna? And uh, and very important point is what we do when there is nobody to recognize. Many times we do activities just to get recognition, but what we do when there is nobody to appreciate, there is nobody to notice, that is what is important. And Prabhupada ji also says that humility means not expecting recognition. So sadhana is one such activity when nobody is noticing us. That is our if our attitude towards our sadhana is serious, that reflects our progress. And then we discussed evidence for ragatmika sadhana bhakti from Srimad Bhagavatam 7.1.30 and 31. And there we discussed how gopis, they were serving Krishna with a spiritual lust that was too elevated and comes out of fear. Shishupal, envy, and Yadu dynasty they were family, Krishna's family, and Pandavas as a friend of Krishna, but all of them, they had same destination. Now the question was, how can Kamsa and gopis, they have same destination? So you told a very beautiful analogy how entering kingdom and palace, they are two different things. So gopis were having direct relationship with king of Vrindavan, Krishna. And then you also discussed about sun analogy, like everyone is given chance to approach Krishna, bahunam janma namante, but to the degree we approach Krishna, that is different. And the favorable mood is very important for bhakti, that is called bhakti. When we are envious of Krishna, that is not called bhakti, that is we are simply trying to approach Krishna, but that is not pure love for Krishna. And then we discussed about ragatmika bhakti, two types: sensual attraction, that kama rupa, and relationship sambandha rupa. And then we discussed about how our love for Krishna and gopis love for Krishna is very different, like iron and gold, material and spiritual. And then we discussed about there is uh, so much of difference in motivation. Like Gopi Maya, they were only and only bothered about how to please Krishna. That was their motivation. And our goal should be to cultivate service attitude by being under the shelter of Guru Parampara and following what they say. And if we only follow what they say, then only we can progress in our Vedi sadhana bhakti and someday reach to Raga Nuga sadhana bhakti. And like great devotees like Uddhava, Mahaprabhu, they also certified gopis love as highest. So we, that is not at all as compared to the lust that we see in this material world, because it is certified by the greatest devotees. And then we discussed about how do we rise towards Raganuga Satma Bhakti when we get out of our comfort zones and put extra endeavors. Everyone, like as you said, everybody is chanting, but the extra endeavors for chanting, when we put, then only we can progress. All the activities we are doing on Vedi sadhana bhakti level also, but the consciousness. And you also discussed about how we honor prasadam with the consciousness. It depends. And 16th chapter I missed. 15 minutes of recording is pending for me, Prabhuji. I'm sorry for that. So 16th chapter
No,
I
no problem, Mataji. You have so very nicely summarized all those points. It is, in fact, a revision recap for me as well. Very nicely you have captured. So, Kalpana Mataji, you want to end with any additional points from your end?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Last chapter, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So you have explained about how spontaneous devotional service, how can we put into practice? So we have to, the definition the same as Mataji said. It is mainly that we have to do the service mode by keeping, Vrajas, Gopis and Vrajas of Vrindavana in the same way as you said, Prabhuji. We have to follow them strictly, and we have to consider even the gurus and acharyas. Prabhuji, as you said, here a definition is given how we have to develop that Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. So from Ragana sadhana bhakti, it is an advanced practice where we have to cultivate in a step-by-step process to develop the mode of as we become the perfect resident of Vraja. So first, we should develop a strong desire, Prabhu, to serve Krishna in a specific relationship. How this desire will come? Only when we have developed spontaneous love, Prabhuji, and how this we should get that eligibility. How we will get by hearing about all the pastimes and everything. How we would develop those pastimes when we have an intense lobha, like overwhelming desire to please Krishna in a particular way. This will develop until all our anartha nivrittis happen. How this anartha nivrittis
Just
will
a pause,
happen?
Mataji. Very important point you
Yes,
said.
Prabhuji.
That intense desire. Okay, in fact, we have read in Bhagavadgita, okay, where we discuss about the material tree as well as the spiritual tree. And what separates us is our intense desire in between. Desire to serve the Lord, we elevate ourselves to the spiritual platform. Desire to sense enjoyment will pull us down. So this is very, very important. This is the price we have to pay. That intense desire to progress, to please Krishna, to progress in Krishna consciousness, in progress in sadhana, to follow our Guru Acharyas, instructions of Guru Acharyas. That intense desire is what is the key. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
So antarvrittis will happen once we start developing only the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, Prabhuji. So the overall concept is we have to start doing Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, which will gradually develop us to Ragatmika bhakti, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Then you had explained about about the practices, how we should do the sadhana bhakti, like remembering Krishna always with a particular devotee, then who is a highly elevated soul, and how we have to develop. We have to take shelter with the devotees both mentally and physically, and we have to do the uh, devotional service, Prabhuji. And there are two types you explained, Prabhuji: remembrance through internal and external. Though internally elevated devotees, they will be externally they look like an neophytes, but internally they are highly elevated souls, self-realized, and they mainly that is what you explained, Prabhuji. Then you explained about Sahajiyas, Prabhuji, but I am not able to recollect what is exactly this. Beware of Sahajiyas, and we should completely reject unwanted listening. We have to hear only about the Lord's.
The Sahajiyas,
Yes.
Sahajiyas think they have a direct some relationship with the Lord and start behaving that way. When you go to Vrindavan, you can see many such people who are practicing this kind of practice, which our Guru Acharyas have said we should avoid such mood. Our mood should be always dasa anudasa anudasa. In fact, I share one very nice instance. Last week when I was in Mangaluru, our Aishwarya Mataji's son, Jagannath, is still a small kid. One of the devotee was calling him Jagannath or Jaga. So he was replying to that devotee, no, I am Dasanu, Dasanu, Dasa. So that is the upbringing the child is getting in the temple. I felt so happy. So thought of sharing this. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji. And last you said that in performing the activities of sadhana, we must never miss on the 24 angas of bhakti. We should focus that also, Prabhuji. Uh, these are all the practices of Raganuga Bhakti, how to develop Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Then you discussed about why the Sadhana Bhakti, how we will know, remove all the anarthas. So types you explained, Prabhuji: Kamanuga, Raganuga Bhakti, conjugal love. So what is the eligibility? Males are eligible. There are types about it. Parakriya, Swakriya, unwedded, wedded. Examples like gopis of the Vrindavana are unwedded. Wedded are all the queens of the Dwarka who did spontaneous devotional service to the Radharani and also Krishna Prabhuji. So these are all the direct services in conjugal love, Prabhuji. And then Sambandharva, parenthood or friendship, Prabhuji. It's a direct relationship, like being father of Krishna. So those kind of services. So types of relationships with Krishna, as you explained, Prabhuji. Then indirectly, one will aspire to service Krishna by serving Krishna's parents, like as you said, Dasa Anudasa. So following their footsteps, that example you had given, Prabhuji. So mainly you concluded saying that our prayers, we should serve our gurus, Parampara, and we have to follow the quality and quantity of chanting, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Haribol, big Haribol to you and Neha Mataji. I'm not seeing the reactions option here.
Hare,
Devotees can give some good
Hare,
reaction.
Hare
Thumbs up
Krishna
or a...
Prabhuji.
Yes,
Uh,
Prabhu.
in Bhagavatam class, Prabhuji told about Mayavadis and Sahajas.
Hmm.
Mayavadis will stay away from such gratification, but they won't chant Hare Krishna mantra. But Sahajas will chant Hare Krishna and they won't keep away from such gratification.
Yeah.
This is the difference.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for that clarification. So I request devotees at least give some reaction to both Neha Mataji, Kalpana Mataji, Jyoti Mataji, Shanti Sudesh Mataji, especially Neha Mataji and Kalpana Mataji, point to point, slide to slide, they have recollected and they given such a wonderful summary. Thank you very much. So let us move to the last three chapter, very important chapter, very important topics to cover. I may slip my time by 10-15 minutes. We already gone by 30 minutes, so please excuse. It is very important we complete and we move on. So module 4 we will, Krishna willing, will complete today. So we're talking about chapter 17 about ecstatic love, the Bhava Bhakti. Yeah. So what is the definition of Bhava Bhakti? Ecstatic love is a stage of pure devotion beyond the material modes of nature. So when we are risen above our anarthas, the ruchi, asakti, the nista stage, when we cross, we move is Bhava Bhakti. And how one achieve Bhava Bhakti is by the process of executing devotional service. So when we continue to do our devotional service, the sadhana, studying Srila Prabhupada books, yeah, we rise through this to the stage of transcendental stage beyond the modes of material nature. And when a devotee attains this stage, what it is said is his heart is illuminated like a sun, free from all the material impurities. And there are two prime characteristics mentioned in the book for Nectar of Devotion. The primary characteristics, secondary characteristics. So primary characteristics is the transcendental platform of pure goodness. And how one can achieve that? By the mercy of pure devotees. So whatever endeavors we are putting, the mercy of the devotees is extremely important. And that mercy will come by our eagerness, our desire to serve Guru and Gauranga. We discussed faith is the starting of Navavidha Bhakti, but that faith comes by Mahat Seva and Satan Kripa. This is a key lesson. And the secondary characteristics is the heart which is so hard today, it becomes softened and give rise to various taste. The desire to achieve the Lord, exclusive desire will manifest. Presently, there are so many desires. We are trying to practice Krishna consciousness. There are so many issues we are facing. We want to overcome all those issues. We are worried about our future. We want to secure our careers, relationships, right? So then this stage is exclusive love and devotion to the Lord. Desire to please Krishna through various services, close at heart with Krishna. Yeah. So in this stage, the attachment to Krishna become perfect and the service become spontaneous. This we are not doing it because some senior devotee has asked us to do this service, or it is not because we want to do out of obligations. It is spontaneous. Such a devotee, the platform is known as Uttamadhikari, one with perfect devotion. which is free from all the material agitations. And then two kinds of sadhana bhakti it is mentioned here. One is executive, whatever we are doing is executive, as well as bhava is effective. And these are the two differences. And nature of bhava bhakti is mentioned here. The symptoms of one who is in bhava, he is in tears of separation, shivering when he is chanting. These are all some of the emotions which comes, and it is compared to like an iron rod. When it is put into a hot fire, it becomes red and it's a molten form which can take a shape, right? So that stage one achieves samadhi. And some of the example from the scriptures is given when Amrisha Maharaj, when he was put under the put in difficulty by Durvasa Muni, so he takes shelter of the Lord. So the changes what he experienced in the body, he is completely in a surrendered mood. So this is compared to such a symptom of ecstasy. And how bhava is achieved? It is said through practice of sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti, raising oneself from the following regulative principles, rules and regulations to the spontaneous mood of service. And then next is by the special mercy of the Lord and devotees. So we will discuss more in detail about these aspects. So through sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti, so there is a mention of Narada Muni from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.28, how Narada Muni could achieve this stage by attentively listening to various sages and offering services to him. He rose in that stage. And then there is also one more beautiful shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25. It says, Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavantiritkarna rasayana kataha tajjoshanat swaparvavartamani shraddha ratir bhaktir anur kramishyati. So the translation here, Kapila Muni is telling to Devahuti, it says, in the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ears and heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begins. Right? So this is exactly what we are trying to do, right? Through level 1, level 2, level 3, Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhava, we are listening to the various Nama Rupa Guna Leela, glories of Nama Rupa Guna Leela, through which the Anartha Nivritti is happening, Bhajana Kriya and Anartha Nivritti, and we are trying to fix up in our Bhakti. Further, the Bhava is achieved through special mercy. So the Lord's mercy, there are various examples from the scriptures. The Narada Muni, Krishna speaking to Narada Muni, there is an instance from Naradiya Purana. And then by taking the glance, there is an example from Skanda Purana where the inhabitants of Jangala province, they saw the glance of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they're stricken by the feeling that they could not withdraw their glance from the Lord. And then blessings of the Lord. Shukadeva Goswami, in the womb of his mother, he achieves Bhava Bhakti. And the next is through a special mercy of devotees. So here two examples are given of how Prahlad Maharaj, by the mercy of Narada Muni, as well as the low-born hunter like Brigari, by coming into the shelter of a devotee, and by his mercy, he becomes an elevated devotee and rise to the stage of Bhava Bhakti. And through Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti, one gets to a Bhava stage, and by the mercy of the Lord and devotees, one gets the Prema. So the conclusion, this chapter conclusion is, the ecstatic love is the natural culmination of devotional service. So all the devotional service what we are doing, when we rise through our Anartha Nivritti stage, then it culminates to Bhava Bhakti. And it can arise through gradual practice. We are all doing through gradual practice and special mercy. So sometimes special mercy also follows. There are some examples we will discuss. And this love can be expressed externally by ultimately becoming a deep internal attachment, guiding the devotee to full spontaneous service of Radha Govinda. So I said, through the practice of devotional service, one can rise to Bhava Bhakti, and then somebody also can get to the Bhava Bhakti without any of these practices, but that is very rare. The analogy Prabhupada gives is, most of us get honorary degree by studying through whatever we do right through our academics. But there are few personalities, they get honorary doctorate and other things because of their activities. So similarly, there are few examples like gopis of Vraja. So they all rise to that Bhava Bhakti naturally. So what is important for us is association with devotees is key, and hearing, chanting, serving pure devotees, these all purify our heart and cultivate the love for the Godhead. So now we are moving to the next chapter, very important chapter, characteristics of one in ecstatic love. What are the characteristics of one who is in ecstatic Bhava Bhakti? So here there are 9 characteristics given. It is very important. Please attentively listen and take a note of these characteristics. We will discuss in detail. The first characteristics is Avyartha Kalatvam. He utilizes every moment in devotional service. Time is not wasted in Prajalpa. Yukta Vairagya we discussed. Something is not helping you to progress in Krishna consciousness. You have to let go. So much of hours and hours are spent thinking about that, discussing about those things which is not going to help you. Many of them lose their sleep over it and spoil their morning sadhana. If you realize this is not helping me to progress in Krishna consciousness, the intelligence is to let go. No point fighting. If it is costing your Krishna consciousness, it is not worth. So please take note of this. So such devotees, words, mind, body are dedicated in service of the Lord, reciting prayers, chanting, offering obeisances. So everything is dedicated in service of the Lord. The next quality is Shanti. This is reserved. They are generally reserved, and tolerance. So there is a beautiful example given here from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 119, chapter 15 sloka, where Parikshit Maharaj exhibits his perseverance and tolerance when he knows that he is going to leave the body. Okay, he surrender to the Guru and assembled devotees, and he want to be in the mood. He's not bothered about the curse what he received. He realizes that it could be his doings. Okay, and he surrender. The mood is remembering the Lord. So these are something we have to inculcate rather than getting agitated with the situation what we are going through. Virakti, detached from the material attraction. So Srimad Bhagavatam 5.14.43, there is a reference of Bharat Maharaj, how the Emperor Bharat Maharaj, he gave up all his material ties, material opulences, attractive wife in attraction of the lotus feet of the Lord. So when that is the example of Virakti. Manashunyata, pridelessness. What is pridelessness? When a devotee, in spite of rising to bhava stage, in spite of having all the qualities, not proud of his position. Labha puja pratishta is something we are struggling so much. This is a very subtle stage. One who rise above this can achieve this pridelessness. So one example I discussed from Padma Purana here, Prabhupada gives is King Bhagiratha. He became so humble, he became a mendicant. Mendicant is for his living, he's going around begging. He left all his opulences and completely dedicated his life in service. And for his living, he was begging from homes of his political enemies. It is very difficult, right? Can we go to our enemies begging for a meal? These are all the examples of pridelessness. Padma Purana, in fact, Prabhupada gives the recent example of one of a devotee from Calcutta known as Lal Babu. He's a big landlord. He leaves everything, go to Vrindavana, and then he begs door to door for his living. And including his enemies, the so-called political enemies, he begs. So when we reflect, forget about going for a begging. At least can we genuinely forgive people who have put us in difficulty situation? Can we realize the fact that whatever situation we are, it is our own doing? This is one of the key principles which I wanted to discuss. Manashunyata, pridelessness, the MSC principle. Many times we go to Krishna, we tell all our problems. I'm in this difficult situation. This person has done me this. This person is doing this. My own relatives, my own friends, my own colleagues, my own neighbor has put me in this situation. We go on crib about this day after day after day and losing such a precious time which is required. Durlabha Manava Janma. We are spoiling this Durlabha Janma, beating around this bush. So what is the way out? There is a beautiful, Krishna has given everything. Only thing is, we are not following these instructions. There's a beautiful sloka which I come across during this week. It says from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, Sloka 19. Dayaya sarva bhuteshu santustya yena kenava sarvendriyo pasantya cha tustyastu janardana. Tustastyasu janardana. What it says is, by showing mercy to all living entities, being satisfied somehow or the other, whatever you are, be satisfied what you have, and restricting the sense from sense enjoyment, one can quickly satisfy the Supreme Lord. So one of the main reason for our struggle, our suffering, is our own pride and ego, our own expectations from the relationships. The ego and pride is so subtle. When I say because you are struggling because of your own ego, your own pride, your own doing, 99% of the people, including me, may not agree to this. We only see the person who has put me into this situation. When we are pointing fingers, this is a big example. Even before coming into Krishna consciousness, this example used to be told. When we are pointing fingers on others, the nature's thing is such that the three fingers are pointing towards us, which we are not able to see by our own ignorance. We are not able to see these three fingers pointing at us. Only at the gross level, we are seeing all the injustice what other person has done, forgetting that these actions are is because of our own karmic sinful actions, what we have done. This is our bank balance. We are carrying, it could be these actions is because of our own deeds in this life or past life. We have forgotten. We have no idea what we have done before. We are only holding on to the person who is putting us in suffering. What is the way out? What is the way out? How many of you are agreeing to my point? Some views. Can somebody unmute and at least say, are you in agreement? Are you with me? And in this situation, what is the way out?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
To tolerate.
To tolerate. Yes, we need to tolerate. First of all, yes, tolerate is very important. How can we tolerate when we have still not accepted that this is my own doing? We are only
Hare Krishna,
seeing
Prabhuji.
other person as our enemies. So what is the way out of this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I would like to quote the lessons I got from you that whatever good things happen, it is the mercy of Krishna, and whatever bad things happen in our life, it is our old previous karma. So in that way, if we accept it, then we can realize how the karma works. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So to overcome these sufferings in our life, first of all, we need to accept from the bottom of our heart genuinely that it is my own doing and I deserve worse than this. Somehow Krishna is merciful. I'm only getting this much. Second important thing we need to realize, I need to go back to Krishna. That is my ultimate purpose. Can I go to Krishna with so much of baggage within my heart? So only by purifying my this as well as my past life sinful reactions, I can go with a pure love and devotion in my heart. So the way out is sincere prayers to the Lord, sincerely forgiving the people who have put us into this situation. And we need to understand they're all nimitta matra. All the relationship, what we are going through, it is all nimitta matra. There is a higher purpose. Their action, this again is a very important statement which I want to make. Their action, which is causing us distress, could be our doings. But our today's situation is because of our reaction to those actions. How we reacted to that. We only amplified that suffering by our reactions. Now, realizing this stage comes Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So if we have to continue to engage in devotional service, then comes the tolerance. This tolerance one can tolerate by understanding these facts and then trying to implement this in our life. And once we realize we get to this stage of tolerance, how long we can tolerate? We can't continuously tolerate till the time we get to a mood of sincere prayerfulness. We have to pray to the person who has put us in this situation, knowing that he is in a way helping me to fix up in Krishna consciousness. Only in the suffering we become intense in our prayers, right? So indirectly that person is helping me to fix up in Krishna consciousness. In that mood, by praying, by chanting additional rounds to such people, our heart, which is hard, becomes soft. When the heart becomes soft, then all the anarthas will purify and we can please the Lord. One thing is very clear. We have to face the exam. We have to face the test of Maya before going back to the Lord. And the biggest test is to forgive people who have done a lot of injustice in our life. If you expect Krishna to forgive you, you have to forgive people who have put you into trouble. So by this, we can go back to Krishna. So coming back to the MSc principle, I did not touch on MSc principle, but whatever I said, I had to say. Now, how do we implement these learnings is by following MSc, genuine mercy and compassion for all living entity. All living entity, the ones who have done good for you, ones who have put you in trouble, have genuine mercy. Be satisfied in your life, whatever you get. We always try to compare others, forgetting the blessings what we have in our life. One more thing, how can we have mercy on people who have put us in trouble? If you see, the biggest pain is not come from somebody stranger. The biggest pain is given by the person who is very close to us, who had a we had a good time with such people. Over a period, the relationship has spoiled. So how can we have mercy on such people? That genuine mercy can come by looking good things what they have done to us. Definitely people have done good things. Only thing we are not able to see. We see the bad things they have done, we amplified it and forgetting the good things they have done. So when we see the good things they have done, then naturally that compassion comes. And then be satisfied. The satisfaction comes knowing that whatever you have is the mercy of the Lord. Presently, you may think that you don't have everything what is required in your life, but whatever is not there in your life is not required actually. That is why Krishna has not given you. And then third is C, control. Control your anger, control your grudges, control your senses. That is where the tolerance comes. By tolerating, genuinely praying, you will definitely purify and rise. Until and unless you don't pass this exam, you will not go back to Krishna. So forgetting is the price you have to pay to go back to Krishna. So you can decide what is important in your life. Sooner you forgive, sooner you forget, sooner you go back to that person and say, sorry, let us move on. I have no more grudges. Sooner you get purified. Many times we are not able to go back and say sorry because we get into a judgmental mode. We say that I can say sorry, but that person will not forgive me. I can say sorry, but that person will continue to give trouble to me. You saying sorry, you are going back to Krishna. Don't worry about other person. If he is able to forgive you, he will get the mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, he will suffer. Then what is happening in this process? The hot charcoal, whatever you are holding in your hand, which is burning you, you are transferring this to the other person. Now it is up to him to let go or hold on to it. This is a big life lesson we are trying to take today. So please listen to these instructions coming from our scriptures. Whenever you are struggling, whenever you are in a distress, many people get into depression. Knowing these, definitely you will get lot more shelter, lot more hope, and you can live a very blissful and purposeful life in your life. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Let us move on now. The next characteristics is Asha Bandha. So before getting into this important point, whatever I've said, any comments, any realizations? Because at the end of the session, there are so many things discussed I don't get. So are you in agreement? Are you able to connect what I said?
Yes,
Thank you
Prabhu,
so
but
much,
it is so
Prabhuji.
difficult to practice, Prabhu.
We are all struggling, Mataji. It is this, whatever I have said, it is to all the participants here. It is applicable, including me. It is easier said than done, but if you do it, that is the exam we have to pass. We are all in different stages in our journey back to Godhead, and Maya has the final exam. And these lessons from our scriptures, from our Guru Parampara, is what will help us to overcome. So we can just decide, we want to hold on to this, or going back to Krishna is more important for me? If going back to Krishna is most important, then definitely whatever I said to practice that is not difficult. Just try. Once you do it, you become so relieved, you become so light. That experience will come when you do it. Right? Yes, let us move on now with Asha Bandha. Asha Bandha is great hope. Can somebody read the prayers of Rupa Goswami? Anybody who have not participated yet can raise the hand. I'll give chance.
Prabhuji, should I read?
Is it Santoshi Bapana Mataji? Yes, Santoshi Bapana Mataji, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Characteristics of Bhava.
Little louder, Mataji.
Characteristics of Bhava.
No. Example, no. Here, Mataji. Example, Rupa Goswami's prayer below.
Sure, Prabhuji. Example, Rupa Goswami.
Please read and listen carefully. This is the mood and prayer of Rupa Goswami, such an elevated Acharya. You can see what is the mood they have.
Example, Rupa Goswami's prayer expresses humble longing to approach Krishna's lotus feet. I have no love for Krishna, nor for the causes of developing love of Krishna, namely hearing and chanting, and the process of bhakti yoga by which one is always thinking of Krishna and fixing his lotus feet in the heart is lacking in me. As far as philosophical knowledge or pious work are concerned, I do not see any opportunity for me to execute such activities. But above all, I am not even born of a nice family. Therefore, I must simply pray to you, Gopijanna Vallabha, Krishna, maintainer and beloved of the gopis. I simply wish and hope that some way or other I may be able to approach your lotus feet. The purpose is that under this heading of Asha Bhava, one should continue to hope against hope that some way or other he will be able to approach the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. The Rupa Goswami, who has given Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu to us, he is saying that have no love for Krishna, nor causes of developing love of Krishna. Namely, what are the causes of love of Krishna, which will develop our love to Krishna? Chanting the holy names. So yes, he's saying with his humility that he has no attraction for the love of Krishna, the names, holy names, or the bhakti yoga. However, he says, I must simply pray to you, Gopijana Vallabha. I simply wish and hope that some way or the other I may be able to approach your lotus feet. He's hoping that hope is more important. Yeah. The faith, the hope that following this devotional service, the instructions of our Acharya, we will also get that love for the Godhead, the lotus feet of Godhead. So the mood is Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Tum Bina Ke Deyalo Jagat Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Musama Patita Prabhu Napai Bihara. So we in Darshanarthi we sing this bhajan every day. So this is saying that Mosama Patita Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please show me that mercy. Daya karo more. Tumabina kedayalo jagat samsare. There is nobody else who can give me that mercy. And you are the most patita pavana. I am the most patita in this world. I deserve your mercy most. So this is the mood of this prayer. And next we are moving to Sammutkanta, eagerness of achieving desired success. So somebody else can read the example of Bilvamangala Thakur. Can I see new hand?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Aryan Prabhu, I'll give you a chance. Anybody else? Anybody who have not participated yet?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Who is that, Mataji?
Madhura Manasikanga.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Example, Samutkanta. Bilvamangala Thakura expresses overwhelming eagerness to see Krishna in Vrindavan. Bilvamangala Thakura, in his book Krishna Karanamrita, says, I am eagerly waiting to see that boy of Vrindavan, whose bodily beauty is captivating the whole universe, whose eyes are always bounded by black eyebrows and expanded like lotus petals, and who is always eagerly glancing over his devotees and therefore moving slightly here and there. His eyes are always moist, his lips are colored like copper, and through those lips there comes a sound vibration which drives madder than a mad to see him at Vrindavan. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. So here, Bilvamangala Thakur's example has been shared. His Utkanta is desire to see the Lord, Shyamasundara Lord, in Vrindavana. That desire, as said before, is what the price we have to pay. And next is Namagane Sadaruchi, attachment to the holy names. So while preparing for this class, there is a beautiful shloka which I come across from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 2, shloka 40. It says, Evam Vrata Swapriyanama Kirtya Jata Nurago Durachitta Ucche Asatyato Rodi Dirauti Gaya Tunmadavarnatrati Lokabhaya. It says, by chanting the holy name of Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. Then the devotee is fixed in his vows as eternal servant. So by chanting the holy name of the Lord attentively, offenselessly, one will rise to a stage where one will fix up, and become gradually, he gradually become very much attached to the holy names, and his heart starts melting with ecstatic love. He starts laughing loudly, crying, shouting. Sometimes he dances like a madman. So that kind of ecstatic love will manifest by chanting the holy names. And the eighth is asakti tad guna kyayane, eagerness to glorify the qualities. So qualities, if you see the elevated devotees, they take so much of pleasure glorifying the nama rupa guna leela of the Lord. That should be our purpose. We need to glorify to as many conditioned souls as possible. In fact, the Kartik month is starting. One of the purpose of Kartik month is giving pleasure to the Lord Damodara. How we can give pleasure to the Damodara is by bringing as many conditioned souls into Krishna consciousness. Taking these glories of Nama Rupa Guna Leela, the mercy what we have received, the joy what we are experiencing. When we give this to our friends, neighbors, society, as many people as possible, by introducing Damodara Arti to them, it pleases the Lord. That naturally pleases us. It is, as said, we are the part and parcel of the Lord. When this hand serves the body, this hand is also taken care. So when we do this, spreading this Nama Rupa Guna Leela to as many conditioned souls, so it pleases the Lord and pleases us, and bringing so many devotees into this Krishna consciousness movement. That is the best way we can give back to the mercy we received from our Guru Parampara. And finally, the attraction for living in Dhamma. So this we have discussed. So at our stage when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, keeping Krishna in center, wherever we are, it becomes Dhamma, and we can visit whenever given the chance. Kartik month, such glorious, we visit so many dhams for that spiritual energy. So next, further, exhibiting signs of bhava. There is different type of thing which is discussed. Semblance of ecstasy, show off. Is it really possible? So it says that when a sincere devotee is struggling, how one can, a neophyte, exhibit this kind of, it is very rare. Somebody who is exhibiting, we need to be very careful. It is not so common. And it is said that semblance of ecstasy, types of rathya bhava, pratibimba, and chaya, shadow attachment. So there are two type of attachment, shadow attachment and para attachment. We will discuss, but first we will see reflective pratibimba. Somebody who is showing off as a pure devotee, but his motives are corrupt. So that is pratibimba. And the chaya is something he exhibits, he shows the qualities of bhava, but he's still not attained that kind of stages. So what are the qualities? The person executes out of social convictions or curiosity. So he has come into Krishna consciousness out of curiosity and trying to show off. It could be because of his labha, puja, pratishtha. And second is his motives are not corrupt, but his intensity is also not up to the mark. And He takes great pleasure in kirtan, visiting dhams, attending festivals, occasional association of devotees. So how many of you think are at this stage are shadow attachment? Or how many think already rise to para attachment? Any?
Shadow attachment, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
At least I can say for myself 100% that whatever I am exhibiting, it's a shadow attachment. But nothing wrong in that because our motive is not corrupt. As said by one of my Siksha Gurus, fake it till you make it. But what is important is don't fake it all your life. Put your endeavors to rise. And that endeavors will come when you are sincere. The mercy of devotees and Krishna, we will also will make it sooner or later. But sincere effort is required.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you messaged a message that about a dream, one entering into the Goloka. You put this message in. I was thinking why I am not getting this type of dreams. Whole day I was thinking like this only, Prabhuji.
So looks like have you read the full message, Prabhu?
Yes, Mata. Yes, Prabhu.
Whose dream is that?
And Prabhuji, you messaged in the one in a group.
I messaged that, but whose dream is that? Who saw that dream?
I don't know, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
You
so you have to.
Guru Maharaj.
Yes. So you have to read the full message.
Prabhuji, you said GM.
It is message. It is the dream of our Guru Maharaj.
Oh my, that's why GM.
Yeah.
Oh, what a lovely dream that was.
Yeah. Such elevated devotees who are the Nitya Parshak of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, such elevated devotees can see such dream of entering into Goloka and coming back and giving instructions to his disciples when we are constructing this planetarium of Vedic planetarium. This is the way the Goloka is. This is the way Vaikuntha is. So these are all such elevated devotees, not ordinary persons, at least like me. Okay, Prabhu? The
Yes,
message is what I share. Please read.
Prabhuji, yesterday I got this dream that I was going to Mangaluru temple, Prabhu.
Removal. That is our Golaka, Prabhu.
Yes, it is a shadow. You said nothing wrong. Thank you, Prabhuji, for clarifying.
Yes. As long as our intentions are not corrupt, we are not doing it for Labha Puja Pratishta, for social convention to show off. Yeah, nothing wrong. Our desire should be pure. Our sincerity, these are all very important. That is why it is said, fake it, no problem. But fake it till make it. But what I'm just adding is, make it. Don't waste your life just faking it. Yeah. So para attachment, genuine attachment influenced by association. So the para attachment, how it will come is by association of pure devotees, by serving the pure devotees. Now, further, how to convert Ratya Bhava to Genuine Bhava? As said, by serving in association of devotees, by the mercy will flow, and by not doing offenses. Many times our progress will be halted. We are not able to progress when we reflect. We have done so many offenses to the devotees. So it is extremely important to avoid such offenses. The most merciful manifestation of Lord Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will get extremely, he will not take any offenses with the lotus feet of the devotees. And then also mention about unexpected symptoms, those are benign. If without going regulative, there are some exceptional cases being discussed here. Somebody who have not followed all the regulative principles, but one develops such high standards, how that can happen by his past life, all the devotional services, whatever he has done. And sometimes the devotees, because of the offenses, his progress has stopped, and by the realization and by purifying those offenses, by begging forgiveness to those devotees, by chanting the holy name offenselessly, he will get the second chance and can steadily progress only in association, by association of pure devotees. When he come in contact of pure devotees, this still can happen. And if a person in Bhava platform has faults, what can such person has fault? And if there is fault, how do we need to see? So it is, we understand from scriptures, when such person, such a devotee have fault, it is said that because lingering traces may momentarily manifest. And how should one see it? We are not the one who to judge faults of such elevated devotees. And very soon such devotees will be protected by the devotion what they have done, but we will fall down judging such devotees or passing comments. We many times do prajalpa over such things. So these are all a offense what we commit to such devotees. And Narasimha Purana gives an example. Illumination cannot be checked by pockmarks on full moon. We can see that marks on the full moon, but that illumination will continue, right? So similarly, that pockmarks will not stop. Similarly, we need to not get into such a judgmental mode. And the conclusion of this chapter is steady progress in devotional service can be attained only by the association of devotees. And the key takeaway is ecstatic love is characterized by total dedication, detachment, humility, hope, eagerness, and attachment to the name Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Devotee who has not, please stay muted. Yeah. So these are the qualities we have seen: total dedication, detachment, humility, hope, eagerness, attachment to the names of Lord, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, and devotees. And association with pure devotee is essential. Even accidental deviation of such devotee or minor faults do not diminish a devotee's pure attachment. Real devotion is confidential and rare, and maintained by mercy, faith, and continuous practice. So these are the key thing. What happens when we accidentally fall? When we fall down, only thing we have to do is realize our mistakes and stand up and continue our sadhana and pray to the Lord for the forgiveness. And if you have done any offenses to the devotees, please do not hesitate to go back to them seeking forgiveness. And through that forgiveness only you can continue further. So we'll take another 15-20 minutes so that we can complete the chapter 19, Devotional Service in Pure Love of God. Kalpana Mataji, can you please read this slide slowly and steadily?
Yes, Puri. Hare Krishna. Devotional service and pure love of God, Prema Bhakti. Definition: Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 23.7. When that bhava softens the heart completely, becomes endowed with a great feeling of possessiveness in relation to the Lord and becomes very much intensified. It is called prema. Second, primary characteristics, intensified, fully mature state of bhava. Third, secondary characteristics, completely softens the heart, highly possessive ownership of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here, a pure love arises when a devotee's desire, again it is coming back to the desire, to love Krishna in their specific relationship is intensified. So we are talking about the prema bhakti. It is very high standard. Can we at our stage realize what is our specific relationship? No. We have to cross bhava bhakti stage. That happens through the following Navaveda bhakti. And how it happens? It develops by gradually executing regulative principles under the guidance of the spiritual master, purification of heart from all the material anarthas. The day all your material situation do not disturb you, do not agitate your mind, that is when you are rising above your stage to bhava and prema. Attachment and taste for devotional service, spontaneously it is coming, and gradually intensification into ecstatic love. Finally, from bhava to pure prema bhakti manifest. And the key distinction, as we discussed before, the material love is lust. There is no pure love, except it is said that the mother's love comes very close to the pure love, but other than that, it is all lust and for our own sense enjoyment. And then the divine love. Divine love is the exclusive attachment to the service of the Lord. This exclusivity is highlighted. When we are exclusively serve the Lord Krishna, that is when we rise to that level. And great authorities like Bhishma has explained that completely giving up the so-called love for other persons or ourselves and exclusively in love and devotion for the Lord, that is prema bhakti. And the types of prema bhakti, it says that Mahatmya. Again, I request somebody to read. Who is to read this? Who has not participated yet?
Prabhuji, should I read?
Yes, go ahead, Mataji. Slowly and steadily you read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Chapter 19, Devotional Service in Pure Love of God, Prema Bhakti. Number 4, Types of Prema. 1. Mahatma Jana, mixed with knowledge of Lord's Majesty, Narada Panchcharata. Nectar of Devotion, page number 145. Number 2, Kevala, unmixed pure. Under that, Raghunaga Sadhana Bhakti is there. For example, of Chandrakanti Padma Purana, in Padma Purana. Number 5, Achieving Prema. Under Achieving Prema, 1, Mahatma Jnana. Under that, Valdi Sadhana. Another one is Lord's Extraordinary Mercy. That, for example, of Gopis.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So one can achieve the types of prema, Mahatmya Jnana, mixed with knowledge. Yeah. By following all the regulative principles, sadhana bhakti, and we rise to bhava bhakti, and then we rise to prema bhakti. And the kevala, unmixed pure devotion, the spontaneous devotion. So here the example is given of a neophyte devotee who is known as Chandrakanti from Padma Purana. She completely following the celibacy, always in meditating the Lord, she danced all night and she rise to that level of devotion. These are some of the very rare examples from the scriptures. And as said, achieving such prema is, one is through Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, second is Lord's extraordinary mercy. Example, the gopis, Brajavasis of Vrindavana. And the types of prema, what we discussed, those who have this Mahatma Jnana Prema attain Vaikuntha Loka, and Kevala pure devotion attain Goloka Vrindavana. And the two types of spontaneous attraction, it is said in the book, which is profound veneration, automatic attraction. So profound veneration is the respect and wow for the greatness of the Lord. By knowing how great all the opulences of the Lord, when we get attracted. Second is without any such motivations. When you see the Brajvasis, they don't even consider Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? They consider him as any ordinary Brajvasis, but still the attraction, the love and devotion is extreme in them. So all these such attractions will assure somebody who is practicing Mahatma Jnana Prema to the Vaikuntha Loka and the liberations, like the achieving the same bodily platform, achieving the opulences, dwelling in the same planet, all the mukti is what we have discussed. However, the pure devotion, the pure devotees will rise above these kind of liberations as well, is what we have learned. So pure unalloyed devotional service, the true devotion is without any motive for personal gain, including the liberation. Constant love and remembrance of Krishna naturally attract his attention. Execution of regulative principle enhance appreciation of transcendental Krishna's beauty. So this how do we appreciate Nama Rupa Guna Leela? By following all these regulative principles, chanting the holy name, purifying our anarthas and heart. And finally, extraordinary mercy of the Lord is essential for reaching exalted devotional position. So not only by our endeavors, the Damodara Leela itself will give us the lesson that two things which is required for that Prema Bhakti. One is our endeavor, second is the mercy of the Lord. And how the evolution, the Navabhita Bhakti, Ado Shraddha, faith, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, shelter of Guru begins with Sadhana Bhakti. And then Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, steadily fixed, and the taste starts coming. We start genuinely relishing the seva service we do, and asakti, the attachment, emotional addiction, and then one rise to that ecstatic love of bhava to prema. And the prema bhakti, this is one way we discussed, and mysterious nature of love, one who is in prema. Narada Pancharatra, I'll come to that. The one in prema sometimes appears happy, sometimes crying, internally relishing topmost bliss, is crying in separation of the Lord. For us, externally, we think he is unhappy, but he is internally is relishing that separation. And most importantly, they cannot even perceive the material distress. Please take a note of it. We always complaining about so many difficulties we are going through. We are crying out, praying. But such elevated devotees, they can't even perceive the material distress or even the happiness. They stay steady. The happiness as well as distress coming from the body as well as mind. That is the symptom of such a devotee. And from Narada Pancharatra, Lord Shiva tells to Parvati that, my dear Supreme Goddess, you may know from me that any person who have developed the ecstasy of love for Supreme Personality of Godhead and who is always merged in transcendental bliss on account of love cannot even perceive the material distress or happiness coming from the body and mind. So what is this chapter concludes by saying the role of association of pure devotees. So for us to rise to that level, the shelter of our Guru Parampara, association of devotees is extremely important. And Srila Rupa Goswami now gives us a general description of how one can best achieve such a high position. And the faith is the starting point, and the faith fixed up by association of devotees and serving such devotees. So association with pure devotees, accelerate advancement of our spiritual progress, hearing from authoritative scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavatam from the bona fide spiritual master and coming from Guru Shishya Parampara. By hearing this knowledge, what is next expected is to engage, meditate on this knowledge and execute the devotional service what we received, and freedom from unwanted occupations. We have discussed at length the reason for our suffering today. So one of the key reason is spending so much time and effort day after day, night after night, thinking about these unwanted things, which is impediment for our progress. And development of taste, attachment, ecstasy, and finally, the pure love of Godhead manifest. So finally, the key takeaway from the chapter 19, pure love of Godhead develops gradually from practicing regulative principles, the taste, ecstasy, and pure love. True love of Krishna is exclusive and not material desire, exclusively serving the Lord for His pleasure is the pure love. Ecstasy can arise from devotional practice or by the extraordinary mercy of the Lord, and association with pure devotees is crucial for our rapid advancement. Pure devotional service is unalloyed, unmotivated for our personal gain and surpasses all kind of austerities and penance. And highest devotional attainment ensures eternal association and perfect love with Krishna. So this concludes our Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first division, 19 chapters, which Srila Rupa Goswami presents as the signs of ecstatic love of Godhead, as a guiding principle for cultivating pure devotional service to all of us. The work is offered by Rupa Goswami for the transcendental pressure of elevated devotees like Sanatana Goswami, Gopal Bhatta, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta, and Raghu Bhatta Goswami. With this big haribol to all the devotees who have patiently listening, and all because of your encouragement and support. By the mercy of our Guru Parampara, we have come to end of Nectar of Devotion. Hari Bol.
Hare Bros. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bros.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. So how
Thank you,
can you
Prabhuji. Hare
reciprocate?
Krishna.
I think today is the submission day for the OBA.
Yes,
There are few
Prabhuji.
exceptions. Devotees have one-on-one connected. I have given some exceptions, but largely I expect devotees to complete your submissions today. And the
Prabhuji, is
next,
it should be handwritten or can I type it and send it?
you can follow what you've been doing all this while, Mataji. All 3 modules, whatever you
No,
have done. Generally,
because I have typed it and
handwritten,
sent it. Like
generally
if it is
handwritten is what preferred, because there were
okay.
instances devotees just copy and paste from Veda base. It is not that I don't expect that from our group of devotees. You're all very sincere and I trust you. But still, as a larger principle,
If
handwritten
it
is
is should
expected.
be handwritten. Once again, I will write it and send it.
Yeah. So that is the thing. So please submit. And next week is our closed book exam for module 4. We want to complete this soon. Please don't delay further, because module 5 will not take much time. In couple of months, we are going to complete our Bhakti Shastri, and already your evaluations, everything has been passed on. So very soon you will be certified for your life as Bhakti Shastri. It is a graduation program from our ISKCON. Yeah, I'm so happy you all have stayed along this long. It is very, very rare to see. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhasya cha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnav vrundi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Maharaj ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Request devotees, if you have time, please listen to the recording one more time. There are so many key lessons which I could bring today. It is not my lessons, it is from the scriptures and our Guru Acharyas. And I'm 100% sure it is helping me. It will help you all to overcome your situations.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I see few devotees dropped out
Yes,
and dropped back.
Prabhuji.
You have missed some key things. Please listen to that. It will
Yes,
surely help.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can the playlist be again shared with us
Yes,
in the
Mataji.
chat?
It will be shared. Kalpana
And
Mataji, you
Prabhuji,
can.
sometimes the quality of
Prabhuji,
the
from the
recording
beginning.
is not very good. It starts getting muddled and you can't get the entire recording on YouTube, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Mataji, I didn't get your question. Let me stop the
Prabhuji,
recording.
the last time the recording that was shared of the last class, I listened to it. Only a part of it was audible. Rest of it got completely mixed up, and it would not